in those cycle lanes. We are actually appealing to people to say we've all now created space for cyclists, for pedestrians, and people must respect that. We don't want to start enforcing and saying you'll get a fine yet, but we send to people, share the road. Motorists must share the road with the pedestrians and other people.
Give me a logistical sense of today, because in the figures we're talking about 100,000 people that come into Sandton. It's a major business hub. Over 75,000 cars. When did South Africa or the Gauteng decide that this was one of the things that we're trying to maybe introduce to motorists that would normally come in here on a day-to-day basis? And why have we decided to join this global movement?
Okay, thanks very much, Sam. We've looked at the cities across the world, and then we looked at the cities that are performing well economically. We've looked at the cities that are doing well in terms of the economy. And then one of the critical elements that we kept on seeing was a space whereby public transport uses. If you look at Sandton, the nature of Sandton, it's full of cars, full of parking bays, it's congested, so people can't actually be able to get to their offices. If we want a city where economy actually develops quite faster, it becomes very important for us to make sure that we supply infrastructure that supports public transport, walking and cycling in a space like that.
Logistically today, a lot of roads will be cordoned off. How is that going to work?
Okay. From the 1st to the 31st of October, a number of roads around Sandton are going to operate differently. For an example, people never seen a sidewalk in West Street this wide. People have never seen a cycle lane. So it's going to be different. A street like in Mott Street, you're going to see it dedicated to cyclists and people walking. People will still be able to use their cars, but it's going to be difficult. You're going to see Rivonia Road, Friedman Drive and Fifth Street dedicated for public transport. Later today, after the official launch, we're going to take a walk down Linden Road towards Greystone, where you're going to see where the city has built widened sidewalks and cyclists for the 10,000 people who walk every day, Sam, from Alexandra into Sandton. We've created a space for that because we're simply saying if people are walking, which is a good thing, we need to actually encourage that. And you'll see later today as we take the procession down how beautiful those sidewalks look and the cycle lanes look, and we're asking people to come and join us today.
Sipho, when we talk about walking into a business hub, one of the other things that are critical to it is safety. How are we going to make sure that people, if they park their cars somewhere, that it's going to be safe for them to walk? Some people work late at night. They'll have to walk back to those various areas. Talk to me about safety.
Okay, thank you very much. You can see around even now, we have a lot of JMPD eyes on the road. We've got communication with SABC. We also have our own security that are placed at these different park and rides. The cars will be safe when people park their cars there. As we are walking in this street, there's also going to be a heightened high level of JMPD officers as well as safety. So it's going to be a very safe space. But remember the critical element about safety, it's more people on the road. The more feet you have on the road, it's difficult for any criminal to try to attempt to do anything because there's more eyes looking at them. So let's get into the street, let's walk the street more, and then it will be safer for everyone.
One of the other things I want to touch on, I'll talk to the Premier a little bit later. We're interviewing him as well. Talk to me about how businesses will be affected. Does that change the mode of how businesses operate, or does it enhance businesses that have been struggling to get people to walk past their businesses?
It actually enhances. And when we did the planning for this thing, you can see even behind yourself, there's a construction there. We had to allow for construction to happen because that's a sign of a developing city. We didn't say to construction people stop construction, but basically we're saying it enhances because there's more feet on the ground, there's more eyes onto your shop, there's more people who can buy your wares.
Nhlapho, we're going to leave it there, but thank you very much for talking to me. He's one of the organizing team members for Ecomobility World Festival that's happening here today. As we said, horrible numbers, 100,000 people coming to Sandton, more than 75,000 cars come through this area. So there's still a lot more to come from this part of the world. I'm sure, obviously the box won yesterday, go Boca, but I'm sure Lebo would absolutely love one of these. I'm just not sure whether she would make it from home to the studio in time. What do you think, Lebo? Let's go back to the studio. Lebo's ready with sport.